Hi, I'm Brenda Buglione, and welcome to SnowMotion. We're coming to you from the top of beautiful Vail Mountain, overlooking one of Colorado's tallest peaks, Holy Cross. In today's show, we're going to ride the chairlift with six-time world speed skiing champion, Franz Weber. I'm going to bring you some of my famous ski tips, and we're going to check out some rowdy films from Warren Miller. It's time to ski, so let's get started.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose, and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, we're climbing up that coconut tree. If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be easier?
Remember what it's like to forget everything but the moment. Rediscover the birthplace of all. Rediscover Vail like nothing on earth.
The best in the world.
All it takes are a few perfect runs.
This is what gold medals are made of.
These are our podiums to protect.
This is what we live for.
Best in the world.
SnowMotion is brought to you by Vail, like nothing on earth, and by the Stedman Clinic, keeping people active. The need for speed. Do you crave it? Well, Franz Weber does. He is a six-time world speed skiing champion. He even holds the North American record today at over 129 miles per hour. Let's find out how Franz got into the sport as a child and what keeps his adrenaline flowing today. Today's SnowMotion chairlift interview is with Franz Weber, Olympian and six-time world speed skiing champion. Wow.
Well, thanks for having me on the chair with you here, Brenda.
Yeah, what a treat. Do you like coming here to Vail?
I love coming here. I've been coming here over 30 years, and our annual reunion, as you know, the American Ski Classic brings all of us together, and it's probably one of the nicest events for former champions to mingle and catch up, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So why did you go into speed skiing? I'm always telling my kids, don't go so fast, be careful. And you were, what did your mother say, go faster?
Well, it's actually a funny story. When I was an 8-year-old child, I walked by a tailor shop in St. Anton. There was a poster of a speed skier who went over 100 miles an hour. And I was all excited, and I said, Mom, just check this out. He said, son, whatever you do, don't do that. Huh? And ironically, my parents didn't know I went speed skiing. They found out through it in the paper. They were sitting at the breakfast, and my dad said, look, there's a guy in third place, the name of Franz Weber, and he races for Switzerland. Huh? What a coincidence, my mom said. Our son works in Switzerland. So they called, that's how they found out.
That is a good story. See, I don't think they listen to their mom and dad all the time, right?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that because I have 3 kids too, but it's beyond that already.
Okay, what was your fastest speed?
The fastest I've gone was 222 kilometers, or top speed, which is not the average speed, is over 140 miles an hour, 142.
What does it feel like?
Obviously fast, but it's you go through different stages. And it's not like the first run you start out that fast. You progressively work yourself up. You have different starting points, and they have an elimination system. So everyone who is not within 5% of the top speed gets eliminated. So let's see, if I go 100 miles an hour and someone goes 95 miles an hour and slower, is not allowed to go to the next higher starting point. And that's how it works out. You eliminate people, so eliminate the danger of getting anyone hurt. Usually when you go to world record speeds, there's usually never more than 10 tops 15 people left, which for the final run.
So well, obviously you need a good tuck, right? So you want to be as aerodynamic as possible.
They were very analytical, and I was very fortunate. I had a God-given built. I have a long upper body, shorter legs, so I was able to put my armpits in front of my knees so I could close that gap so no wind can enter. So I could actually use my body as a foil, like for downforce or lift. And from experience, I could explain it all, but it takes a little longer. You can adjust your traction on the snow. And then once you go over 120, 130 miles an hour, depending on altitude, air temperature, how warm it is, less density, higher you go, less air density, there comes a point where the wind pressure gets so strong in your ski tips and you go in a cushion of air. And you kind of hydroplane, I call it the Mach 1 in skiing, and everything's smoothed out. And so your goal is always to go faster. So if you get a little crosswind, you start shifting off the course. If you make an adjustment with your hands, that's how you could make directional changes, but that slows you down. So we have those special helmets with a fin in the back, and it works like a rudder in an airplane. So that's how you keep your directional steering.
So you just move your head a little bit?
That's how you keep you staying left or right.
But isn't it a straight track, just straight on?
Absolutely, no, it's straight, and we have about 4 different tracks in the world where you also need a place where you can stop. And there's one track in Colorado here in Silverton where I still hold the North American record, which is set in 1983. So it's been a long time ago. On the bottom there's a really sharp transition and you hit about 4 to 5 Gs. So it's, like I said, you could probably go faster, but you're not able to withhold the pressure.
Wow. Have you ever fallen?
Unfortunately, a few times too fast. I've crashed a couple times at over 125 miles an hour. And if you believe it or not, crashing in speed skiing is safer than falling in the downhill, because we have those rubber suits, so you don't have resistance to the snow. All the equipment stays behind. Since you have no turns, you stay pretty much within the axis of the track in the fall line. And with that speed, it's like skipping a flat rock into the water. You don't tumble, you just skip. The only thing you have is friction burns. So I had done both times third-degree friction burns just from sliding across the snow.
Who wants to do that?
You don't want to fall, but if you believe it or not, there's a guy by the name of Jeff Hamilton who was the first individual to go over 150 miles an hour. And he also holds the world record in the fastest crash. He crashed at over 150 miles an hour, and he's here to tell you about it. And it's not a record I'm going for.
No,
but,
not anymore.
No, not
anyway,
anymore,
right?
for sure.
Wow. So do you think there's something crazy about speed skiers?
I don't know. I had never seen a group of athletes from such diverse backgrounds. You know, we had everything from from surgeons to even a priest and motorcycle racers and everything. So it's an interesting group of characters.
Now that you're all done with speed skiing, what are you doing in your life?
Well, I was very fortunate to basically transition from the sport of skiing into other opportunities. I started a client hospitality and a sports management company. So we're creating experiences which can be duplicated all over the world for an amazing group of guests, which I could have never envisioned. We just came back from Europe, and what we do, we bring in legendary athletes like Franz Weber, Alberto Dommer, Mark Giardelli, which come in as social and leisure hosts for the groups. Guests must love it because they keep coming back.
Well, I know you do an amazing job with that, and so I think to have that special time to ski with world champions and people that have passion with the sport and they can share that.
Yeah, we don't keep it on exclusive to skiing. We go even on diving trips where we bring in champions. We doing bicycle trips and whatever you can dream up or people want to do. I'm just dreaming something up right now where we're doing speed skiing for the average speed skier, but we're doing within 48 hours, 2 world records for our personal bests on snow and on sand. Where we're going after, we're doing that in Les Arcs in France, we go down to Namibia. So you may think you have a screw loose, but people are actually asking for those experiences.
I don't know about the speed skiing. I think there must have been something.
Think about this, if you can, in a safe environment, you can go up because you don't know how fast you can go. Now, if it's in a safe environment, 90 miles an hour will feel to you like in a downhill going 40 miles an hour. You'll be really surprised. You go down, it's a personal best, you still feel comfortable, and you measure yourself and you go up. As long as you feel comfortable, and then before you know it, you get hooked on it.
I think it's an addiction. I think all the kids want to go fast. I mean, they all love to grow up to be a downhiller.
Do it in a safe environment.
Safe environment, yeah, safe environment. How do we find out? How does someone go skiing with you?
If you want to go skiing, you go on to www.franzweber.com and you can contact me through there and you can find out about our upcoming cycling adventures, rock climbing, speed flying with JT Holmes. And
Franz Weber has a good life. He's still chasing the adrenaline. Okay, we better go. We're at the top of Vail Mountain with Henry, the famous avalanche dog, right outside of PHQ, Patrol Headquarters. This is where the ski patrolmen work out of to help keep the slopes safe for skiers and snowboarders. Up next, we're going to Wyoming with Warren Miller. We're going to check out the lone wolves in the sport of monoskiing.
Corvell, toast life.
What we've done at Surefoot is really changed the way that you get ski boots.
The sun shines bright.
This boot is made for your foot. The difference is amazing. You'll ski better, they're better fitting, better skiing than anything you've ever experienced.
I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should, the way.
Corvell, toast life.
If you want more SnowMotion action, chairlift interviews, and ski tips, go to my website at snow-motion.com. Today's ski tip is about what not to do. When you see a skier getting fatigued, you notice that they start bending at the waist. If you bend at the waist, it does take the stress off your quads, but it puts it on your lower back. If you break at the waist, you lose the power in your legs. You want to angulate with your ankle, knee, hip into the hill. Feel the edge carve. If I break at the waist, my skis flatten out and I'll slide. So if I'm bending over at the waist, I lose all the power on my downhill edge. I want to keep my chest facing forward. Carving my turns and getting the ski up on edge. If you want to ski well, you need to keep the power on your legs. So remember, stay strong, keep the chest up, looking down the hill, and you'll carve your turns. What does skiing and rodeos have in common? Not much. In this week's first film segment, Chris Anthony introduces us to the cowboy downhill. Giddy up.
We don't have a lot of hard and fast rules in the Warren Miller movie, but here's one. If it involves horses and skis, you send Chris Anthony.
Well, I'm always a stranger everywhere I go. Nobody wants to know me.
Oh yeah, my rodeo star now.
Always love for the feeling. Not for the show.
Mind you, that's not because Anthony's good at it, all right? But, you know, he's good at other stuff, like sand skiing, dishwashing, and jetpack flying, and let's give the guy credit. I mean, he can flat out wear a pair of chaps.
Nobody can mistake me for someone they want to lose.
Right down the yard. Here I am in Steamboat, Colorado.
I'm just gonna go like hell.
This is the cowboy downhill. This is true America. Some of these cowboys have taken a break from the stock show to come up here because the horses and the bulls haven't killed them yet, so they thought a pair of skis and a snowboard might.
Ready, course, ready. Cowboys, go!
If you're wondering what a cowboy downhill is, you're thinking too much.
Do I look like a legit cowboy?
Anthony may be 98% skier and only 2% cowboy.
If I borrow your horse, will that help?
But you don't grow up in Colorado without learning how to handle a lasso. The premise of the cowboy downhill hasn't changed in the 41 years they've been doing it. Take a bunch of rodeo stars off their horses and put them on skis. And just like Anthony with a horse, being good is not a prerequisite.
No, stay down. Stay down for a while.
Now heck with this. Next year I'm going to Disneyland.
Cowboy downhill. I think Chris could be an okay cowboy.
Skiers like Chris try to blend in everywhere they go, but some skiers stand out wherever they are.
Movement is life. It is the joyous wiggles of a newborn child, the grace of dance, a quiet stroll in the twilight of our years. Movement is freedom, exhilaration, independence. Movement is progress, relentlessly seeking solutions. At the Steadman Clinic and the Steadman Philippon Research Institute, movement means science finding cures and medicine enhancing lives. At SPRY, it is science unsatisfied with the status quo, science discovering life-changing answers. At the Steadman Clinic, it is unsurpassed orthopedic care for the world's greatest athletes and everyone. Movement is our mission.
SnowMotion is brought to you by Surefoot, better fitting, better skiing. And by Bogner, the luxury of sport. Welcome back to SnowMotion. Now let's go to Monopalooza, where you don't need two skis to carve some serious turns.
There's only one thing in life more American than a Harley. A Harley driven by a guy who doesn't give a damn what you think about the monoski he's got strapped to it.
The feeling I get on a motorcycle is a lot like skiing, is freedom. I see everything as a line. As a carpenter, you're cutting lines, kayaking down a river, mountain biking, skiing on a mountain, or I'm riding my motorcycle down the highway. Everything is in lines. Skiing is like a true escape. Everything is okay with the world. It's a sense of freedom, expression. Everything just kind of goes by the wayside. Shutting your brain off from all the noise, the traffic, the stress. It's clarity. It saves a trip to the psychiatrist's office. Every year, we do a thing called Monopalooza. There's a gathering of like-minded monoskiers, and skiing with friends adds to the sport of sliding down a hill. So this is the 17th annual Monopalooza. We're going to Jackson Hole, Grand Targhee, and White Pine.
Rachel Burks made her name as a big mountain skier, but deep inside, there's a mono skier just itching to bust out.
Anyone that's ever skied, you might see one monoboarder a day, and today is different because it's only monoboarders. They've chartered their own ski resort, so we're gonna know every single person on the mountain.
It's open. The mountain is open for monopaloozers and mono skiers. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire.
I know what you're thinking. People still mono ski? These guys still do, and so do, well, actually it's pretty much only these guys.
I've been mono skiing twice before. Monoboarding is a rad sport, but there really aren't that many people that do it. And so this is an opportunity for all the lone wolves to get together and run as a pack. Private ski resort for the day, you know?
I started doing this when I was in high school. I've never looked back. We can go a whole year and not see another mono skier except for this weekend.
Whenever I'm having a bad day, I think of Greg and think of him with his arms in, just wiggling his ass. He pisses me off and forces me to be a better skier.
I just ski, you know, I just go down and make turns and chasing these guys.
There's a bump ski, there's a powder ski, there's a carving ski, and all of these different people who have nothing in common other than mono skiing. I am now part of a totally new community of rippers just tagging up the mountain. It's pretty sweet.
After a knee replacement, it didn't work very well with two boards. It hurt skiing the bumps. Mono brought back the joy of skiing.
There's no feeling like carving. You throw that ski right out and you come right around. It's like flying.
I date a mono skier, so I kind of like, I have to follow him. But it's a great group. My nickname is the two-planker because I love my legs spread open, so.
No two-planker wankers, whatever that means.
First time to Wyoming. There's a whole lot of beautiful nothing out here. Different country, different continent. Meet up with people you've never seen before, and it just works out. It's cool. They're my kind.
I'm sure there are rumors spreading like wildfire all over Jackson Hole about the mono skiers that jumped into Corbett's couloir. Pretty impressive. It's kind of an iconic drop into a couloir. Lee made it look super, super smooth and easy. And then it's Scotty Crown's birthday today, and he's like, if I'm going to Jackson, I'm checking that off the bucket list. I'm jumping into Corbett's couloir.
We didn't have the heart to tell him that that's not really jumping.
He's like, I'm doing it, you know?
Mono skiing is tough to teach kids because you can't pizza, you can't French fry, and unless you really know what you're doing, you can't stop. The mono skiers own the hill for the day, but that doesn't mean you can't bring a regular pair of skis. They'd actually welcome the opportunity to heckle you for a change.
Affectionately known by this group as Mono Dude. I am the Mono Dude. I am also an ordained Dudist priest, the Church of the Latter-day Dude. Private mountain with nothing but mono skiers is a rare thing to happen.
There's not a lot of mono skiers out there, but when you find a female mono skier, it's like seeing a unicorn. Whoa!
Got done grooming down here, and
I kind of stood around and watched all these guys, scratching my head, wondering what the hell's going on. I think it's worth giving a whirl. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone, so what the hell?
Those monoskiers sure have a lot of fun on the slopes, but for me, I'm definitely sticking with 2 skis. That's it for this edition of SnowMotion. I hope you can join us next week when I ride the lift with a scientist from the Steadman Philippon Institute who's helping people get back on the slopes faster. I'm Brenda Buglione. Thanks for watching.
Would it be easier if we had no shoes, no time to kill, and nothing to lose and no worries but the great blue sky, and looking for shade when the sun gets high, we're climbing up that coconut tree. If it's time for one of nature's treats, would it be